Welcome one, welcome all to episode 280 of the Xbox Expansion Pass, recorded on Saturday, June 28th, 2025. I'm your host, Luke Lohr, the Insipid Ghost, joined by my co-host, the Intrepid Captain Logun. This week, Xbox has revealed and released a VR headset via the MetaQuest 3S. Steam and Xbox games are now showing up simultaneously in your merged libraries in some places, and the Xbox Play Anywhere program has expanded even more. As always, we hope you enjoy the show. Logan, we like to start the show by offering words of kindness those who made our gaming weeks better. But first, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. It's been an interesting week as far as work goes, but gaming wise, I've been dipping into just relaxing after a really a heck of a week with Sea of Thieves. Mm-hmm. So it's been it's actually going to tie into my words of kindness again this week. But yeah, got my skeleton curse for Sea of Thieves.
Nice.
Which, for those of you that don't know, requires a lot of hourglass PvP, which is kind of like what we used to have with Arena, but instead of like multiple crews, it's like one crew versus another crew. Mm-hmm. And I hate it. It spikes my anxiety like I'm playing Resident Evil 7. So I don't like it, but I did it. Mm-hmm. I got it done and I'm over it.
There you go.
so okay. Shout out to it's kind of like when people get that sense of euphoria when they complete like an Elden Ring boss. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. Only the Elden Ring boss is my own anxiety, and the curse is just getting past it. Mm-hmm. And the other people on the other side of the screen are the ones that I'm trying to get over, because they're the ones that are trying to, like, you know, be mean or cheat or what have you, and you're just like, I don't care about you,
right?
I care about this curse,
right?
So but yeah, outside of that, gaming week's been good.
That's
played
good,
a little
man.
bit of playing on my Switch too last couple nights.
We've been playing
Zelda, and
which one?
Both, actually.
Oh,
so because they put out that GPS. They did the Navi kind of. They missed it with not calling it Navi. They should have called it Navi. But I've been using my smartphone to look for Korok seeds and stuff. Mm-hmm. Dude, there's no way. There's no way.
It's like 900 of them, isn't it?
I was looking at the screen. I was thinking like, I've got like 300 hours on my first Zelda playthrough. Like, I'll pop back in there and see like where I can clean up the areas that I've missed like Koroks for. No, there's still like 500 freaking Korok seeds, dude. It's disgusting, but it's cool. It's really cool. It's like the guide that you want to have that's built to cater to like your live gameplay. Mm-hmm. Like, instead of just following a guide and keeping track with a checklist or something like that, like it's actively telling you, okay, you're getting a little bit closer to that next thing. You're on top of that next thing, and it can navigate you to it if you don't want to just look at the screen, right? Mm-hmm. Wild, absolutely wild, dude. I was actually kind of blown away. I was like, this is kind of really cool. Like, I wouldn't mind doing something like this for cleanup on games that have like collectibles. Mm-hmm. But it was wild, dude. Switch 2 Zelda's play so good on the Switch 2, dude. I have it on my on the LG C1 out in the living room, and it says it's playing at 4K 60 frames per second. I know it's upscaled, but damn, it looks good. It looks like how a Zelda game should look like.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
So
all right, man. So, and if memory serves, a lot of like early games. No, let me rephrase that. A lot of the late games on Switch 1 struggled to run. Am I correct in saying that?
Like, not even just the late games, the early, like, there were still zones in the launch title, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that were running into like frame dips because of how much that was going on. That's all alleviated. Although I jumped into Outer Worlds because I was, Obsidian fan, had it on Switch, wanted to see like what it would look like. They haven't done anything. They have not done a darn thing. Really? They're all those games are on sale. Right? because everyone's got their sales going on.
Yeah, they do. Oh man,
On Switch, still poo, still very, very poo.
that's funny. That's funny. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot that I want to talk about just based on hearing that. But sum it up for me right now. Are you enjoying your Switch 2? Are you glad you got it?
I am. It's one of those things where I knew what I was going in for when I got it, because I think the intent for the Switch 2 was like, dude, I just want a more powerful system. I want it to be bigger. I want it to be more powerful. I want it to have an internal SSD that does not mock me for trying to install a video game onto it. Like all of my video games right now, and I've got quite a few installed onto the internal hard drive. And because like Nintendo games are so small, I've got pretty much every single one of my games that's not a cartridge installed internally without having to buy like an expansion card, which is fantastic. So that it's the screen is something that I think a lot of folks are kind of like unhappy with. I don't notice it. I don't see the ghosting issue that a lot of folks have been talking about, but at the same time, it's a stronger Switch too. I can actually like open up the store and not have it take half an hour. I can load up Zelda and have it not take 2 hours. It's nice. It's what you would expect from a handheld, which is what I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Xbox ROG Ally, because that is going to be the testament on if console manufacturers can work with third-party hardware to make something that feels analogous to your console experience. And that's why it's so important. That's why so many people have been looking at like what's going on with the Xbox PC app, bringing in, aggregating your games, that it's like, well, is this going to feel like the experience I want it to feel like?
Yeah, don't get ahead of it. Don't get ahead of it.
Well, I'm just giving the preview. If people are just now tuning in, they may not know what the hell we're talking about. We're going to be diving into a whole bunch this week.
Yeah, we do have a lot. And if you are just getting here, please, as Gentle Stones politely says in the chat, hit that like button. It helps us out, and we appreciate it. We got a lot to dive into. Logan, I'm gonna need your help on some production today. I could not get these two files to load into Overlay, but my words of kindness, I sent them to you on our Discord. I was wondering if you could help me out here. My words of kindness extend to my wife and to my new puppy, who pictures are incoming when Logan gets that, and to Clutch Kwando. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to start with Clutch Kwando. Cloud gaming for Xbox is getting better and better and better and better. And all the things that we're going to talk about today, from play anywhere to stream your own games, those are all there. So thanks to him. And I know he works in there. So I just wanted to thank him there. All right. So on the screen, that is me with my new puppy, Callie. Callie is her name. She is a Labradoodle. She is 8 weeks old today. So 2 months old. She is super sweet, super loving. Can you throw up the other picture? Because I feel silly with myself on there.
What?
I know. But Callie is just a sweetheart. Adore and love her. I absolutely adore and love her. She is named after Kal-El, Superman, because my last name is Lohr, first initials L, so Kal-El. Absolutely just love her to death. And then we have another picture, which I just hit Logan with this a second ago. Yeah, there she is. Look at that sweetheart. Look at that sweetheart. So she is a new addition to our family. My wife said, can we get a dog, a few months ago? And I said, while you're out on disability, yes. Can we get a dog that's not a puppy? And she said, yes, 5 years old is what I was thinking. Then my father-in-law had his neighbor, or the neighbor had puppy, whatever. And so here we are. Callie has joined our family. And I truly do love her to death. She is very sweet. But puppy is a puppy, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a lot, because obviously my wife's we got the cast off. We're in a splint, and she's on disability till September. But she's able to do some stuff. So it's like this mixed thing. I was supposed to see our buddy Butch the other day, but had to cancel on that just because to help out. So here we are. But it's been cool.
Awesome,
and
dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got like all these things I want to say about cloud gaming, but also how much this puppy's been great. So it's been cool. So those are my words of kindness for this week.
That's awesome, dude. I have a couple questions.
Okay. Hit me.
Are you going to get a little Superman cape for Callie?
Yes, but not yet. We're gonna
Okay.
let her get either out of the teething phase a little bit, which is gonna take time, right?
Yeah.
But she needs to be more comfortable at the house and whatnot. So
Yeah. And then the other one is any plans to take her to go see the Superman movie on the 11th?
no. She is potty trained, oddly enough,
Mm.
at 8 weeks. Like that's crazy. She's potty trained already.
Yeah.
With minor accidents here and there, right? Like little stuff. But
I have the
no.
same problem, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I
right.
get it.
Don't we all? You know?
Yeah.
Don't we all? So we'll see. But no, when that comes to home, like streaming, yeah, be like,
Yeah.
look, that's your namesake. So yeah.
That's cool, dude. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing what you feel of on the movie when you go see it, because I'm
Mhm.
sure you're going to go see it.
Oh,
But I'm
absolutely.
also waiting for photos when you decide to get a little Superman cape for Callie and
Yeah.
have her run around.
I'll say this, man. As somebody who I've loved every Superman actor save one, which is Dean Cain. I've loved every Superman actor.
Mhm.
I love lots of different variants and versions of DC characters. And while I really did enjoy Man of Steel and Batman Superman and the Snyder version of Justice League and Wonder Woman, I didn't like the DC extended universe as it existed towards the end.
Yeah.
And this looks like a movie that's going to bring people in to enjoy the characters I enjoy. It looks more approachable. Looks like more people are going to be excited about it, and that's awesome.
I thought you weren't checking anything out on this yet.
So I'm not like watching every trailer. I've
Ah.
seen trailers. You know what I mean? Like it's impossible
Yeah.
to not see trailers, but I'm purposely not reading up on stuff
Okay.
because I don't want to be like spoiled by accident. But I've seen plenty, and I'm excited. So
Gotcha.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like when you love something, you want other people to love it too. And that was the hardest part about this last generation because I enjoyed this several of the movies, not all of
Mm.
them, several of them, and everybody just wanted to dunk on the overall universe because it wasn't as good as Marvel.
Yeah.
And I acknowledge that, right? I just want people to love what I love or enjoy something I love is a better way to put it. So
I think this one looks closest to what I liked about the original Superman series.
Yeah.
Where it is very focused on just Clark being an alien, living in a human world, and trying to manage his emotions while also wanting to help protect people.
Yep.
And realizing that there are evil people out there who are just it's not that they're dangerous in a like physical sense, they're dangerous in a mental sense. Like they mess with Clark in a way where he is still very immature.
Yes, I think that's happened in a lot of variant and versions, but the way this one's being showcased is just so approachable.
Yeah.
People are able to see it. So,
yeah.
But that is a topic for another time and one that I'm looking forward to, but not for today, not for XEP today.
Why are we going to talk about video games or something? Not puppies and Superman movies?
That's exactly right. So,
I'm gonna kill all these notes in my notepad. Then
sorry, I'm setting up the super chat thing.
No,
let's talk about our first topic, and this one is to me very cool because it merged two aspects of gaming that I absolutely love, and it's partially why Clutch Kwando needs to be spotlighted and appreciated as well. So this past week, it was, I will say, shadow dropped, released, right, as it were, the Xbox MetaQuest VR headset. So this is a MetaQuest 3S VR headset, and it's Xbox themed. If you're able to pull that trailer while I'm chatting, I'd appreciate it. I know I'm kind of throwing you on the spot for a few of these, and I appreciate you. So this headset, first of all, I love VR. I got into VR because of Arkham Shadow. Again, DC doing what it needs to do for me. And fell in love with it and actually upgraded to an MetaQuest 3. I had a 3S. 3S is a great headset. I just wanted kind of the biggest bang for my buck possible, so I got a 3. This new headset coming out of MetaQuest 3 is a partnership deal that does a really good job at a couple different things. So it's a $400 MetaQuest 3S bundle. It comes in carbon black, and it comes with a velocity green kind of like accenting, as it were. And you can see on screen that accenting with that black just looks really, really nice. It's 128 gigs, which is great for VR. Like, it's a great number for VR. And you have touch controllers that are Xbox themed as well, which I really am jealous of. I wish they sold those separately, because I would upgrade. Because I use my Quest a lot. I'm just about done with Alien Rogue Incursion, moving on to Behemoth, which we've long since talked about. And I've been playing Beat Saber, really fun.
Don't get me on that one.
Sorry, buddy. I know it's a tough thing there. They also have a limited edition Xbox controller. Now, Xbox does controllers everywhere. But so it goes. Now, it comes with an Elite strap, which you absolutely need. That's a great choice to include that, because VR headsets get heavy on the front end if you're not careful. I have a Bobo headset strap, which helps me for longer sessions. But what I like about this also, in addition to the Xbox theming, is it comes with 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate Essential and 3 months of Meta Horizon Plus, which is a must-have if you have a VR headset, because it is a fantastic subscription service that includes things like Asgard's Wrath, includes a number of other different games that I just poured myself into. I think Arizona Sunshine's in there also, but MetaQuest, Horizon Plus is just a great subscription service for people that are entering into the world of VR. A lot of just very approachable games. So the reason this is so cool is not only is it Xbox themed, but getting that access to the Xbox Cloud games through Game Pass is amazing, because what you can do when you're in VR is you can put it into oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it, but like big screen mode essentially, and you can play your Xbox games via cloud on like a 300-inch screen effectively, because and it looks great and it works really well. And that's why I want to shout out all of cloud gaming so much, because it works so well. And the fact that you could just have the controller included in the box is fantastic. It really is a great experience to play via cloud. And Xbox has done such a good job in recent weeks and months and over the last year of adding to Xbox Play Anywhere. The list is now 1,300 games that you can play via cloud. And they've added stream your own game titles, which that list is expanding even more. They did 15 last week, 17 more this week. So there's just so many ways to access your Xbox library. And this Quest 3S is a great entry point for VR. And the reviews are very positive on it. It's a great way to play VR games. It's a great way to play your Xbox library. It is, to me, Logan, it is a great way to introduce people that might have been on the fence for the Xbox ecosystem to Xbox. It's a great way for Xbox diehards to be introduced into VR. I would argue it's a shame it didn't come out a year ago, but the library of VR games that are quality is so extensive now that it's a must go to. It's a must play. And so I'm really happy with this bundle. It $400 is worthy of that cost, so I'm there for it. That is my thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think that's the thing that is toughest for me to get over, because I look at Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and I'm like, okay, that's like $60 worth, for the value there. Mm-hmm. You've got a controller, which another 60, so you're looking at 120 there. Mm-hmm. So already the $100 is already kind of covered with compared to the $300 3S. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much Meta Horizon Plus is, but I'm gonna say it's roughly $10.
$10 a month.
Yeah. So okay, so you're looking at another 30 there, so you're at 150 for value. The MetaQuest Elite strap, that I'm assuming is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $75. Just thinking about like how much hardware stuff typically costs. I imagine they're probably going to charge somewhere like $75, $80.
$70
or something. How much?
70.
Oh, so yeah, I was highballing it then. So $70 for there. So you're already at $220 just for the value that you're getting with the $100 more that this bundle is. Mm-hmm. So realistically, yes, if you wanted to get into VR, and you wanted to play your Xbox games, this is going to provide enough value, even at just the extra controller and the Game Pass value. You're going to make up the money for the bundle, being more than the 300. So I like that aspect of it. You're getting something for, you're actually getting something as far as like the cost value incentive. For
Xbox
me, it really
said he bought one straight away. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Xbox said I bought one straight away. I love Xbox, and I heard they're sold out on the Quest store already.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of folks picking them up on social media. So I think it's great if folks are getting into it. Would it have been cool to see like what Xbox could do if they actually started building VR games? Yes. Is this effectively just a way for you to get access to cloud in a different medium? For the most part, I think that's the main thing. And honestly, though, like, I'm not going to lie. There's been a few times where I have sat down with my PSVR 2 and it depends on where I sit because the cable's only so long and it's still tethered. But playing games while sitting down in VR, and they're just regular games on the big screen, does have some value. It doesn't look as nice as my TV does because it's not like the same quality, but I will say that there is something to be said about having that accessibility. It just comes down to, do I want to have this thing on my face? And is there other stuff that I would like to do with it that I can't do with just a regular console? And if you're into VR and you can handle the motion sickness aspect of it, definitely this is going to be the strongest ecosystem, because right now Steam VR is effectively dead. PlayStation 5, PSVR 2 is effectively dead. There's no other, we don't have any more makers in the market that developers are developing for. Like genuinely talking to developers in VR for VR games at conventions and stuff, they're all saying, yeah, we're just going to go for the Quest because it's the only ecosystem that actually has like anyone that's on it.
Yeah. And I will tell you, the Quest ecosystem is great, very supportive of one another. They have this wonderful thing where, like, you can, if you own the game, you can give somebody a referral code, and you each get money into the store for that. So they're trying to like cycle people in. They have a great
pyramid scheme.
It is not that. They've got a great library now available from games like Asgard's Wrath, Behemoth, Alien Rogue Incursion, Zombie Army VR, which I'm playing right now and really enjoying. Zombie Army VR, very fun. Nice. Reach and Deadpool are on the way. And then, of course, my game of the year from last year, Arkham Shadow, which I just loved. Now, I loved it because it was Arkham, but also it reviewed so well, I feel justified in saying that, like, that's well worth anyone's pickup. And that was a Quest exclusive. And, like, at one point, I thought we'd be seeing it go over to PlayStation VR 2. But PSVR 2 seems dead. It just Beat Saber's bailing on it. And I even put out on socials this past week that I thought PSVR 2 was dead and not getting support. And somebody came back at me and was like, no, they're doing games for it. And I was like, buddy, those are small.
Yeah, they did do announcements for it, but it's one of those things where it's like, Sony has trouble releasing first-party titles for their own console, let alone their peripherals. So I would imagine if we had a plethora, if you will, of first-party titles coming out on a regular basis from PlayStation, instead of having to rely on the second-party and third-party stuff from like Kojima or I just blanked on I can't think of whoever did Stellar Blade and Helldivers, but if they had their main studios like up and running, not being torn down by Jim Ryan's like motives of having live service games, and Concord was doing well and stuff like that, I think that the landscape for VR would be much different than it currently is over on PSVR 2, which was what I was hoping for, given the backbone of what PS4 did. Looking at the PS5, it was like, okay, well, this is going to be a slam dunk. They're either going to go total hubris, which they did with the PS3, or this is going to be an amazing generation. And I was banking on the generation. So My PSVR 2 is relegated to the like few times I jump into Beat Saber nowadays. But for all intents and purposes, outside of that, there's not a whole lot to do. And honestly, having to plug it in is part of the reason why I don't bother, because it's not as easy as just grabbing it and slipping it on.
And that's truly the joy of the Quest. You're completely untethered, and that is the way to go. Our good buddy Sathius in chat owns a PSVR 2, says there are a lot of games coming out for it. Agreed. Yeah, and good ones. The problem is they're not first party. And I think the drawbacks of PSVR 2 being tethered, not having a first party support, are a big bummer. Whereas in this case, Quest, you have slightly less powerful hardware, but you're untethered. You've got a subscription service that is baller. You can link it to your PC and do Steam VR if you'd like, which is amazing. And so there's a lot of options that Quest gives you that currently, sadly, PSVR 2 doesn't do. And I think that stinks, by the way, because a successful PSVR 2, a successful Quest, and a successful not Oculus, I forgot the other one. But my big thing is VR gaming is cool. It's really, that might be it.
HTC.
Yeah. Those are great things. Like, I want VR to be successful. Now, I will say, I really love this Xbox 3S. Like, I really do. And I hope people check it out and discover this world of VR gaming that I so enjoy. Yeah. Logan, if you ever have a chance to get one and you can trade your PSVR 2 for it or whatnot, let me know. We can offset that with the Patreon funds, because I want you to experience this and check out cloud gaming there, because it's really good.
Yeah. Bear in mind, like, I do suffer from motion sickness. So chances are I will probably be selling my PSVR 2 and then putting that money into my car.
Gotcha. So. Fair enough. But I will say Xbox has an opportunity with their VR headset to bring some of their titles that might make a nice, healthy jump to VR. And we've been saying this for a long time, because I will die on this hill, bud. The Fireteam Raven, Halo Fireteam Raven, which is the arcade game from Raw Fury. Yeah, such a great arcade experience. Would be a wonderful light gun game, introducing VR worlds to Halo and Halo to VR worlds and everything. It'd be so great. Would be really, really cool. Let's see. Sathi is also saying you can do remote play on the Quest 3. Yeah, and like, this thing looks gorgeous, doesn't it, Logan?
Yeah,
it really does look good.
It sells me in the same way that the Xbox headset sold me, which, because of the aesthetics, I went and picked up an Xbox wireless headset because it looked really cool. It was the first affordable headset that allowed you to connect up to multiple systems, like Bluetooth systems. And yeah, I mean, I think they've done a really good job with this partnership. I think this partnership, at least from the aesthetics, echoes, I think, what a lot of people appreciated about the PSVR 2. Given that you're going to be able to access Xbox, Steam, Meta Horizon, have the full gambit of VR, definitely gives you a sense that, this is how Xbox is going to approach hardware in the future. They may not be making consoles forever, but there's enough hardware manufacturers out there that will kind of like justify what's going on with the ecosystem. And we've seen them make leaps and bounds on trying to deliver the console-like experience across the ecosystems, whether it's cloud, whether it's PC, whether it's actual Xbox hardware, handhelds. They're working to homogenize that ecosystem so you get full access to everything everywhere, which is upsetting some people, and that's their choice.
That's their choice to be upset. I do want to note our good buddy David Burdett from Gaming Trend says, I've been able to do all of this on my current Quest 3 for a long time. Yes. So to be very clear, to any Xbox fan listening, if you're trying to get an Xbox Quest 3S and you can't, you can grab a normal 3S and do all of these things. You just won't get the Xbox aesthetic that comes like out of the box with the particular purchase. And like, you can use your regular Bluetooth controller, it'll link to it just fine. You can use the standard touch controllers and they're fine. And you can just access your cloud app because it's on there already. So you don't need the Xbox Quest 3 or Quest 3S to do this. That's just if you want to have that aesthetic. Like I would love like some of those touch controllers because they're just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I did reach out to Meta. We were not included in the cool guy early access about this one, but our buddy Jam Pack Sam was, and he put out a really good video on it. So I'll tell you guys, I'm actually going to find that. I don't know if Sam still listens, but I'm going to find that.
Sam has all the hookups when it comes to that. I'll grab it.
You got it. Okay. Just because it's a great device, and so very, very, very cool. David Burdett following up and just saying cloud gaming works on the Quest 2 even. It does. But I'll tell you what, the Quest 3 experience is awesome. And again, I will triple down cloud gaming, man. Shout out to Xbox. They're doing good stuff there. They're doing really good stuff. As somebody who loves his Quest, I hope people check out VR. I want you to check out VR. It's fun times. The barrier to entry is lowering cost-wise, which is surprising. And might be a nice way for people to get in. But of course, with Quest being kind of the only ones on the market, you don't know really where that ecosystem is going. But I do think this is worth looking into. And I hope that Xbox investigates this partnership a bit further and postulates putting some of their stuff, porting it into VR here and there where applicable, right? Don't allocate tons of money into this, but there's a couple games that would lend themselves quite well to a VR experience that I think would be quite doable. There's a lot of 2D to 3D elements. Yeah, here's Jam Pack Sam's video here. Just shout out to him. He's just a great content creator, good voice for YouTube. I've often said he's the best of us, and I mean it. He's just very, very talented, and he nails it.
I'm also very confused as to why I can't find like a full-on video, but then I guess he just did the short.
He just did the short because he's so popular on Instagram and TikTok. That's where his main audience is.
Must be nice.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. When it comes to AR form factor, I'll jump in. If you didn't know, you can do a ton of AR stuff. There's a really good, I forget the name of it.
You're talking about that game, the zombie game?
Oh no, that one's fun. Because it like sets up your whole room as if you're being invaded by zombies. That one's cool. But no, there's a strategy game that I love playing where you maneuver your units in AR. And it's a really cool thing. Demio does AR. Yep, sure does, man.
I did. I saw a video that was like guys watching a football game, and it was in like a holographic table kind of AR setting, but they weren't wearing like headsets. But I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if you could actually watch like sports, like a 3/4 isometric perspective of like the game on a like a tabletop. Where you could actually like see the gameplay of it and actually kind of move around and see what's going on. That I don't know why that was one of those things where I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, like Star Wars style. Yeah. Quest has a lot of like courtside type things as well. Like you can do a lot of NBA courtside, WNBA courtside, and experience like you're there, which is neat.
It's not WWF. Are we really even courtsiding?
WWF is the World Wildlife.
That's not a thing anymore, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just exposed myself to fraud. What's the next topic?
All right, let's go ahead and close this one so that Jam Pack Sam doesn't take us away here. Hey, can I tell you about something I've been playing? I know we've got more like Xbox stuff to talk about, but I just want to show you a game I've been playing.
Yeah.
So Steam Summer Sale. I'm going to put this in our private chat. I don't know if you can pull this one up too. I'm just asking you to be a producer now, and I appreciate you. I will learn this, by the way. So Steam Summer Sale going on, and it's really cool. But I snagged a game called Ballistic NG, which Logan is pulling up for us now. I see him loading that bad boy in. Ballistic NG is basically Wipeout from PS1 days. It's Wipeout. You can actually toggle between PlayStation 1 graphics or remade graphics, but it's just an anti-grav racer that feels like Wipeout XL or Wipeout 3. And on Steam Deck, this is my joy. I'm loving this game. It is so much fun. And like these summer sales are just dope. And I'm bringing this up because soon, like less than a year, I'm going to have access to this on an Xbox handheld. This thing's chugging on through StreamYard, which sucks, which is too bad because it's buttery smooth on my Steam Deck. But I have no problem adding to my Steam library, my Epic library, my GOG library, and my Xbox library universally now, because I'm planning to get the new Xbox handheld. I'm going to trade in my two Switch ones, my wife's and my own, as well as my Series S and then my kidney, so that I can check out this new Xbox handheld, because I'm just so excited by this merged ecosystem that's being created. So like I snagged this game because it's my childhood. I loved the old Wipeout games and I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah.
But I thought people would just it's something I wanted to share with people, because we all should share games that we love, but it's really cool. It's really fun. So yeah.
Can I share one for you, or share one as well?
Yeah.
So Fast RMX was a game that came out.
Oh, I love that game.
Switch 1. Fast Fusion is the new one for Switch 2.
Yeah.
And it's like Gears 3 with Wipeout looking. It's like Gears 3 graphics with
Gears 3.
Well, just like the aesthetics, like the era that it looks like.
Yeah, it does. I see like the rocks and stuff.
Yeah,
that looks beautiful. I love the fast games. They did a really good Switch. That Switch 1 launch was awesome. So this is their Switch 2 launch title. Love it. I know we interviewed the developer for Redout, which is another anti-grav game.
Oh yeah.
And I
Redout.
Redout.
How I call it.
It's Redout. Sathia says looks like Wipeout. Yeah, it was made to be Wipeout.
Yeah.
Like toggle between PS1 era graphics and this and modern is really cool. Nerd Chat says summer sale going on right now. Yeah, I picked up Doom Eternal because I wanted it portably. And Mercenary Kings, which is a game by Tribute Games. They make was it Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Shredder's Revenge, and then I picked up Ballistic NG, and the rest I'm just saving dollars because I wanted to snag a few more. Like my wish list is huge. But yeah. So I have no problem adding to my. The reason I'm saying all this, I have no problem adding to a library now, because I know these new Xbox handhelds and the new Xbox will merge these ecosystems. We've already seen across multiple outlets this week, people are seeing their Steam and their Game Pass for PC and their Epic libraries universally together. Yes, that's what you want. That's the goal. That's what it means to be an Xbox now. So it's like, all right, cool. And that's why I shouted out Clutch Kwando. It's like cloud gaming is helping you do this. Play Anywhere is helping you do this. Stream your own games helping you do this. Like, let's go. Like now my device is just my device. Cloud games, cloud saves. Yep, let's go. I'm just here for it. Don't forget Prime Gaming. Yep, you're absolutely right. Gentle, you're absolutely right. Yep. So yeah, that's why I was happy to share what I've been playing, just because like that is a game. That's like, let's go. So yeah. Hope you don't mind diverting briefly for that one.
No. Well, I mean, I think it's important because I wonder if I can share this as well. Do you want to get into the mixed libraries topic?
Yeah.
We can talk a little bit about this, because this was something I'm going to see if I can share this. Something that I was impressed by when I was looking at stuff that I didn't get an opportunity to actually like mess around with. So I've got my profile up here. So don't ignore like the games that I got installed right now, because it's just
Hello
stuff
Kitty
from
1,
Steam as well.
Hello Kitty 2.
How dare
Hello
you?
Kitty 3.
No judgments. So but it's weird, right? Because like I've been playing FBC Firebreak as part of the review for like the code that we got, which I'd say right now it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun. It's in the Control universe, but it's not necessarily something that is like Alan Wake or Control.
Have you been playing it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We should talk about it, because I've also been playing it and I got thoughts.
Oh, I didn't know when you had jumped into it. We should be doing stuff together. Yeah. I've been trying to do some of the easier levels. There are a certain number of levels, and each one is kind of gated by difficulty. So you've got 1 room for level 1, 2 rooms for level 2, 3 rooms for level 3, and then a boss at the end of level 3. That you can add corrupted items, which I don't know anything about, but I know that they offer you currency that is kind of like Helldivers, where the more odd currencies you have, the higher your perks can get leveled up. Yep. And they're putting out an update Either they just put it out or they're putting out an update where they're kind of rebalancing some of the perks. But like I've been playing FBC Firebreak late at night when everyone on East Coast is asleep, and I've been really enjoying that kind of like loop because it reminds me a lot of like Helldivers. But with the Xbox integration with Steam, now you've got this setup where like my Epic games and my Steam games are getting brought into it. So are my Blizzard games. But the way that they're being brought in is not like, this is the BattleNet version of my install. I don't have it installed through Xbox, but it thinks I do. So the way that they're doing it, it's kind of okay, but I'm really not a fan of this because it's like, yes, it does show me what I currently have installed. Yes, I have 18 games installed. No, I'm not playing all of them, but I will dip into some of them. But like Dead Space is through the EA app. That's kind of normal. But having Steam titles now is really interesting to see that we are actually going to be able to get access to any of like the PlayStation stuff that's currently on Steam right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's, you know, it's kind of nice to be able to do that. But when I open it up on the Xbox app, it's pretty bad right now. Like, it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't. And oh, I forgot to
like right now, though.
Yeah, it's giving me access to something. It's like one less click. But do I need Wallpaper Engine? Yes, it's installed. But do I need this to show up in my Xbox app? You know, like I and for some reason, Sea of Thieves is showing up as the easy anti-cheat thing right now. So this is one of those situations where, and I don't think I'm on the beta ring. I actually don't think I'm like on the ring to get like early access to this kind of stuff. If I am, I don't remember.
Available in Insider Ring. He does say that.
Right. I don't know that's. I think it's out for a lot of folks because I think this has been on Insider for a while. But it just seems a little early for their integration, and a part of me is like, okay, what's the optics of this looking like if this is getting pushed out to people this way? Because this is not a good user experience.
But I think this is intended to be for later. Like, this is the prep for what will be when the ROG Xbox Ally launches and when anything else happens. Like, this is a precursor to future things. That's what I'm thinking is happening here. So I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is for like the first public facing element of it. Because if you're seeing this and you're not an Insider Ring, to me this is great news, not a bad thing. This is just more on the way. That is how I interpret this.
Clutch Quando says that you can see the ring you're in at the top, which I didn't even notice. I am technically an Xbox Insider with external Delta. I don't know what that means.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was it's up here at the top where it's like Xbox Insider, external Delta, whatever that means. So
right.
It's one of those things where I'm glad that they're doing it. I'm not impressed by the fact that all it's basically doing is something that one game library has already been able to do, which is show you're in like, if you have one game library, which I know I've talked about on the show in the past. Yeah, it effectively aggregates all of your games in one thing.
But that's the key. That's the key to Xbox's strategy. And this is the first step into it. Like, yes, other third-party apps can do it, but Xbox is trying to be the one to do it in first party. So I'm okay with it being a little wonky at first. And real quick, I do want to, before it goes away, I do want to shout out Freight Conductor for supporting the channel and saying, gifting 5 XEP memberships. Thank you so much. Every bit of support, and I appreciate everybody that helped us get to LA. Your support continues to help us do all the other stuff, so we really do appreciate you. Thank you. Grateful for your generous donation. Thank you. Never necessary. Thank you, beautiful. You scared me.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you. That's Mrs. Ghost. She's helping me. You're on camera. Oh, thank you. All right, thank you, love. I completely lost what I was saying. That's my wife. I'm married.
You're talking about it being the intro to the system, and it's going to be a little rocky at first.
Right. Yes, it's doing something that no other first party is doing in merging libraries, and that is fantastic. So you have to celebrate that where you can, and there are other third-party apps that might be doing it better because they're dedicated and focused to it. But the best thing about a Steam Deck is that when you turn it on, it works. The best thing about a Nintendo Switch is you turn it on and it works. Streamlined, no muss or fuss. If Xbox can get that right when they launch this Xbox Ally X, then we're good. So I think you're seeing in this Insider Ring element the first foray into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're seeing this prep for the future. So it's going to be a touch cattywampus, as it were, while they figure it out. That's what I think is happening.
I mean, that's fair. For me, I think I am looking for an experience that is a little bit nicer. Like, because I'm used to 1GL where everything is like a nice, beautiful tile. And you can like look over every single tile. It has the key art right there. It's kind of like looking at the browse function on Twitch. So I'm looking forward to when they're able to do this. I have not tried to boot up something from it, but effectively what it does is if you have something installed on Steam, it will effectively boot up Steam and then launch the title while that is happening, which to me is very funny because as a PC player where this is predominantly like the access is to there, we have this functionality. It's just called shortcuts on your desktop.
Yeah, but the whole goal is to, as Gentlestone is correctly saying in chat, reduce the time to game.
The easiest way to do that is as soon as I boot it up, I don't open anything. I double click the game icon on my desktop.
I feel like, okay, I can't tell. I feel like you're just being a stick in the mud right now for a beta tested thing that is working towards an end goal that we all are looking
I'm trying to bring people down to reality. This isn't a big frickin' deal to me because it's something we've already had through One Games Library. It's something we've had through desktops. I appreciate that a lot of people are excited to be able to see that they can play their PlayStation games on Xbox PC app. But if this were like Xbox, if this were on my Xbox and I could play my Steam games on my Xbox, that would be a different story.
This is the prep to work out the bugs for that, though.
I know, but it's one of those things where I'm seeing a lot of people being like, "Oh, look at this! Look what we can do," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." But
all right, Logan, you ready for my douchey response? Prep for max douchiness.
All right, yeah.
This coming from a Switch owner that had to use a Nintendo app to have voice chat. I've had that for years on Xbox.
That was new to the console, though. This is not something new to PC.
Oh gosh, here we go.
I've been able to open games from my Steam client without having to have
an Xbox. Show you were like, I got a Switch 2 so I can play this great Switch 1 game. Woo! Yeah,
and it's like getting a new GPU in your PC.
Double click something.
It's like getting a new PC. It's like hey guys, I got a new 5090. I can finally play this game at 4K 120. It's beautiful. That's the same. That's the equivalent of getting a Switch 2. These arguments are null.
No, you're making up the rules. You're changing the rules on the fly. Are you and I married?
You're making bad comparisons. She does that. I can't help that you're making bad comparisons.
Oh, geez. Get out of here with this.
I'm glad that Xbox is doing this. I'll be excited when it comes to Xbox. On PC, it's not that. It's a cool thing, but it's not a big deal because one developer has already been doing this with One Game Library. I've been able to do this with shortcuts on my desktop for decades. Since the 90s. I've been able to launch games from launchers without having to open the launcher. So it's one of those things where
I bet you complained about Epic Game Store when it first came out.
No, I didn't care about it. Epic Games was giving me free games. I love Epic Game Store. I have tons of games through there. I have all those games aggregated into my GOG library right now because I just have the only thing I can't get into GOG right now is my Amazon games. And I have a ton of those as well. So no. I'm not picky about my storefront. I'm picky about people being excited about things that we still have access to and have had access to on the platform that we're playing on for a long time, because it's in a different ecosystem. Now, if you want to get nitpicky, we'll say, yes, Logan, you shouldn't be excited about Sea of Thieves coming to Battle.net. You already have it on Steam. You already have it on Xbox. Why are you excited about it being on a Battle.net? And that's because I'm a fanboy when it comes to Sea of Thieves. So
I bet
that would be a better analogy.
Logan's the guy that like patrols the Reddit posts and the forums and reminds everybody that HD DVD was better than Blu-ray. And it's ridiculous that Blu-ray did this because the HD DVD was actually. I bet you're that guy. I feel like you're that guy.
No, I could care less about that. This is just one of those things where I'm seeing a lot of people get excited about something that is honestly like should not necessarily be as excited about until it's on something that we can't do.
Like, but this is the step towards that. That's like why we're excited.
We've had sliced bread for so long, and somebody walks up and goes, guys, did you know that this bread is sliced? And they're going to be like, we got sliced bread, guys. And the other dude's been sitting there like, we had sliced bread forever. Why are you guys just noticing that we had sliced bread?
You're being a real wet blanket, sir.
Go with me on it. Go with me on it. Realize that the fandom's shouting how great it is that they can play their PlayStation games on their Xbox because the Xbox labeled window says game from PlayStation on there is a little ridiculous.
No, you're missing the point. People aren't excited about the integration. They're excited that it's happening, that they're going to be able to do that soon. That's why.
I think it's a little both.
Did you
I don't think it's just black and white.
On my screen, you're frozen.
Okay.
Am I moving around on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're just frozen on mine.
Nobody's making fun of me for being frozen.
Okay. There you go.
I don't know.
It's probably just StreamYard. Yeah, you're moving around over on my YouTube side. So
okay.
It'll
it's figure itself out. StreamYards.
Yeah, it's just StreamYard. All right. Let me transition our topic to a tangential topic.
Okay.
With Xbox Play Anywhere. Okay. Both Xbox Play Anywhere and Stream Your Own Game are getting expansions. Xbox Play Anywhere, I think, is just the GOAT. And I absolutely love that. Michael says that Captain Logun is special with that take. I don't know if he means good or bad. But
probably bad.
My jam. So let's see. All right. So Play Anywhere, that list of games has been expanding recently. It is now over 1,300 Play Anywhere titles, which is really cool, I think. They've actually already added 100 games in 2025, which is really, really cool. That list is extensive. It's got, big time games like, Doom the Dark Ages in there, to kind of smaller stuff like Golf Up or I don't know, Monster Train 2, I guess. Retro Classics is in there. It's really cool to see this program continuing to change. And that there have also been like bigger titles like Final Fantasy 16 is a Play Anywhere title. Space Marine Remastered is a Play Anywhere title. Bottom line, Xbox is transitioning themselves into everything being Play Anywhere if they can, if they can get that deal down. Again, prepping for the future, and that's fantastic. They've also added 17 new games to the Stream Your Own Games category, which is really cool. They did 15 last week. They want your Xbox library to be available whether you are using a backbone with your phone, whether you're on your MetaQuest 3S, whether you are using your tablet with a Bluetooth controller linked, whether you're on a Series S or X proper, whether you're on a PC. They want your library available to you, and they want to merge that library because they're cool and they want to do cool things for gamers. Obviously, it's got nothing to do with money. So I love that we're seeing these expansions happen, and I think it's a really nice step towards future-proofing the brand, because in the console selling space, it just didn't happen. But now we get some really cool stuff happening where you can just access your titles, your saves, wherever you go.
Yeah, that is something actually worth being excited about. Being able to access your content, and I am entitled to my opinion. You are giving me crap for having an opinion on this, and that's fine. That's your opinion. but it don't take away from my right to have the opinion. All right.
Yes, sir.
Having your games that you bought one time accessible anywhere, just like if you were to buy a game on Steam, go to any PC, log into your Steam account and be able to play that there. Having access to it on multiple areas is the way to go. It's how games should be approached in general. It's the downfall of having physical games is that you would have to carry your entire library with you. The benefit of having a digital experience is that you get access to that anywhere you can log into it, and you don't have to have the physical disc to prove that you purchased the game. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that they're doing this. I'm glad that they're expanding it to streaming as well, too, because I think that's going to be even more important if they're going to try and do partnerships with the MetaQuest to be able to sell people on the games that they've already purchased, as opposed to just what's available through Game Pass. Yes, Game Pass is amazing. It's still the best deal in gaming. You're getting all these great games that you can stream and play for the subscription cost, but that does not account for the games that I've purchased in the past. So the play anywhere aspect of this is where we should be going into the future with like digital purchases. Like that's just what it should be. It should be your library streaming. If they're offering streaming, play anywhere, regardless of the device. The login is the aspect of it. If there is a code base that is available on that ecosystem, you should be able to play that. That is where, like, if you're going to break down the barriers of exclusivity, I want to be able to play the copy of Grounded 2 that I buy on Xbox, on PlayStation as well, on Nintendo as well, because I have access to log into my ecosystem through those hardware systems. Now, I don't know if that we'll ever get to that stage of it, but being able to access it through third-party hardware manufacturers who are willing to work with Xbox to be able to allow that kind of integration into their hardware, being able to do that on PC, being able to do that on Xbox handhelds or Xbox consoles, that is the right to be able to do whatever you want.
You have a couple comments in chat. I want you to take a look at them before we respond to them.
Okay.
I think when you set up the ability to access your library across multiple devices, you're setting up customers that are interested in not your console, but interested in their content, right? When kids log into, I don't know, their Chromebooks or whatever, or their phones, they just want to access their saves. They don't care about what device it is, whether they're on an iPhone, a Samsung, a Google Pixel, whatever it might be. So I think that's what they're doing, and that is what's going to future-proof them for later. So that is what's going on. Did you want to respond to anybody in there? I see Clutch has got you tagged in something.
Clutch is talking about, because he's talking about how if you're primarily an Xbox user, this would be an exciting thing for folks to be able to see games like in your Steam library. Which I responded, it was like, okay, well, it's cool that Xbox users that are using the PC Xbox app predominantly, because I predominantly use my Xbox or Battle.net. Those are the two that I usually go to. Having everything on there and not having to have one games library or desktop or shortcuts on my desktop does make it easier for me to see what's currently installed. But I do still have to have a decent library in other ecosystems to be able to gain access to that, which then, like, I look at things like GOG. GOG has that as well too. So there's lots of stuff where I'm currently already experiencing this. So I'm glad that folks are catching up. It's the same argument that I see people with Android phones being like, oh, Apple finally got that feature. That's cool. I'm like, I'm glad everything else is starting to catch up to it, but the experience needs to be a little better at launch than currently what's on like Insider Ring. So I'm hoping to get there, and I'm hoping that comes faster to console than what I'm expecting, which is another few years. Yeah.
I think and Clutch in chat agreeing that there is work to be done. Yes. And I think the best part about GeForce Now is that it pushes xCloud. It pushes the Xbox cloud gaming space to be better. That's the best part about having competition in general. That's why genuinely, like, I'm glad these Battlefield experiences are rolling out to those who signed up for them. Cough, cough. Like they're out there, and that's going to push Call of Duty to be better because being the only one in a space is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Logan, I'm going to transition us now, and I sent you in the private chat. You got it. So this is a really cool thing that I think is dope. It's called Spartan Survivors, and it's a Halo fan-made game in the vein of Vampire Survivors. It's Halo-based. You can see it. It's in there. That's Chief. He's fighting with the Arbiter. They're fighting the Covenant. It's awesome looking. It's going to be coming out on itch.io. But the reason this is cool and the reason I wanted to spotlight it is typically we see fan-made games that are made inspired by something. I'm thinking about the Battleborn stuff. Not Battleborn. Not Battleborn at all. Bloodborne. Very different thing. Bloodborne, kart racer, and much of that. Typically, we see people come in last minute and kind of dunk on it and take it away. Well, Halo Studios has given these two developers their blessing. They said, go on, have a blast. This is awesome. They adjusted some stuff in the legalese that they asked them to update. But bottom line, we're going to be getting a Halo-themed Vampire Survivors game made by two fans of Halo. And Halo Studios signed off on it and said, good, go on, make it. And it's going to come to itch.io, Xbox, and Steam. Itch.io first, I believe, and then Xbox and Steam later. But I think that's really cool that they said, nope, go on, make this, let people enjoy it, rock on, and we get to play it now. It's not technically a Halo game, so it's not like it's a licensed Halo thing, but it's clearly Halo, and people will get to enjoy it. And I'm just really happy about it. The trailer that we're running right now even says Master Chief and the Arbiter. It has the sound effects. It's got these cool little homages, little Easter eggs you can catch. It just makes me happy that it exists and that they are allowing this to happen.
So a few things I wanted to call out on this. This will be something that's free. They can't take money for this. Otherwise, then Halo and Microsoft would have to go and bring it to court and say, like, okay, well, you can't do this if you're going to charge money for it, because it would be opening the door for others to start using IP that is not theirs.
Right.
So this is a fan-made project. It is being released as a fan-based project so that folks can just play it without having to buy it, which is why itch.io is kind of like a good platform, because it is an open platform for a lot of indie devs to be able to put their stuff on there and have like a cost evaluation if they want, without having to put it on like Steam. It is going to be on Xbox and Steam as well. I don't know if it's going to be something that comes sooner rather than later. And this is a Vampire Survivors-esque game, but it is more twin stick shooter, I would say, than Vampire Survivors. Like, you are kind of shooting bullets out, like automatically. Like, there is some automation to it, but you do predominantly have like a twin stick shooter playthrough of this as well too, which was part of the thing that I was like, okay, I kind of like my passive thing with Vampire Survivors, where it's just like I just move around and stuff dies, and I work on the build based on what I'm offered, and will get me to the point where I can stand still and just have stuff obliterated. Whereas this, I'm not quite sure yet if that's possible. But there is a lot of like stuff. There is still that kind of twin stick point and shoot aspect to this game. But I think it's cool that Xbox looked at it with a reasonable perspective and decided, yes, this is something that will allow, as long as you aren't trying to earn money from it.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. A couple people in chat, Freight Conductor, this is how PR should be done. Agreed. Love that. It makes you feel good, because Halo's been so difficult, right? It's been difficult to celebrate. Even when it gets wins, it gets losses. Halo Infinite's finally great, but that show was, like it's a bummer. So I'm excited for this one. Big shout out to Clutch Kwando for gifting 5 XEP memberships. Thank you so much for supporting everybody. being so wonderful to us and taking care of us. We really appreciate you. Shout out to Chris Jones in chat also from ILP. Good to see you, my friend. Chris, just one of the nicest humans. Meeting him in person was awesome. So we enjoyed that. Let's see here. Oh, Joseph Moran's in chat. Okay, moving on.
All right.
He sucks.
Hi, Joe.
He sucks. Logan, let's see. Are we good and happy with our topics for our major ones going into smaller stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one's kind of interesting. Beavis and Butthead coming to Call of Duty. Gundam is coming to COD Mobile. It's weird to see this. COD is so odd with its partnerships. Every time I see something really, really cool, I also see some other stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. But Beavis and Butthead will be there alongside Seth Rogen and a few other just odd inclusions, but also Ninja Turtles are in there. I don't know why COD doesn't have like Doomslayer, Master Chief, Tony Hawk himself. Like, I don't know why that's the thing. If I can play as Lionel Messi, why can't I not? And Nicki Minaj, why is Tony Hawk not there? Tony Hawk's coming out, what, July 11th? Like, why is he not in COD?
Maybe he's not a Call of Duty fan.
Maybe not, but Doomslayer doesn't get a choice. He's an armored up bad guy with guns. Should be putting him in there. He's in Tony Hawk.
He's not a real person, Luke.
Why would be? Neither is Beavis or Butthead. Like, neither are the Ninja Turtles. Like, why not put him in there? It's so weird. Nonetheless, that's happening. Death Stranding 2 is a video game that came out. And you noted in our notes that it's got a 90 on Metacritic and OpenCritic. And according to the trophy room, Death Stranding 2 is goated.
This is one of those ones where I'm a fan of old Kojima, like when Kojima was putting out like Metal Gear 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. I don't really follow like all of Kojima's games. I recognize his ability to have a studio publish or produce like amazing content. Mm-hmm. I'm just happy for Death Stranding fans. Regardless of how you feel about Kojima, I'm glad that they've got Death Stranding 2. It'll be interesting to find out like when and if that will make its way over to Xbox, depending on the exclusivity deal.
It is.
With PlayStation, we might have to wait a year. I don't know what the contracts are like, but it's kind of cool to see a really big game come out like this. I think right now a lot of people are looking at Clair Obscura Expedition 33 as kind of like the front runner for Game of the Year, especially given that GTA 6 is out of the picture. Mm-hmm. But seeing Death Stranding 2 come out and seeing a lot of people sing its praises is a good win for PlayStation folks. Mm-hmm. To finally have like something that they can like say like, hey, you know, we have something to be excited about releasing on our console and our console only at the moment. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily like what kind of feeds into their exclusivity thing, but it is nice to see like PlayStation fans eating good right now.
They deserve it. Shoot. Yeah. They've been suffering lately, I feel.
Yeah.
Astrobot, Stellar Blade, if you count it, right?
Helldivers 2. We lost Concord to whatever. I don't even know why that game died. I genuinely.
What? You don't know why it died? I don't know why it lived.
I never played it, and I wasn't offended by the character models. It looked derivative, but I don't know why they didn't give it a year.
Oh my God, Logan!
We used to be like, we had like a level. It was like, okay, well, it's a live service game. Give it a year, see where it goes. That was kind of like, you remember like the dodgeball game that came out. That lived a year before they shut it down. So I was just kind of like, all right, well, that seems kind of weird. I never played Concord, so I can't speak to it. But I was surprised that they killed it so soon.
They're not messing around, bro.
No, there's
marathon.
Yeah, Marathon's got a lot of work to do. They need to go figure out. They're doubling down on certain things, and I'm like, all right, well, come back after Arc Raiders, see what you can learn from Arc Raiders. Why people are excited about that. See if you can salvage Knockout City. That's what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, and that was a good game. That was a fun indie.
Everyone's talking about Arc Raiders.
Yeah,
Exoborne, bro. Exoborne.
No, it's Delta Force.
No. No. No.
That was one of the other small topics, is that Delta Force is coming to Xbox Series game or consoles and PlayStation 5 August 19th. It's on PC. I've had it installed, but no one I know plays Delta Force, so I haven't been able to jump in because I ain't doing that solo. I'm not doing no extraction with random people. Arc Raiders is going to be the one that I think is going to be really interesting. You just want jump packs and grapples. Go play friggin' Apex Legends, buddy.
Let's go. Like, real talk, when Exoborne comes out, I'm very interested to see its reception. Like, I'm so interested to see its reception because that game looks, and I played it. It's amazing. Like, it's genuinely amazing. Luke loves grapple hooks and flying around in mechs. Yes.
Yeah.
But everybody I've spoken with, every coverage bit I've seen has said that Exoborne is where it's at. So
that's what they're saying about Arc Raiders.
Arc Raiders free to play, Exoborne premium. A little bit of a difference there.
That is a huge difference right there.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, jump ahead.
When we say premium, that is a nebulous term now. So we don't know if it's a $40 game, an $80 game, or somewhere in between. But we know that it's a $40 plus buy-in, which is, I don't think, a bad thing. I don't think that's meant to be a down to any game. I think games should be priced well. So a good example of a game that was priced well, Avowed, wasn't $80.
Yeah.
Right. Helldivers 2 wasn't $80, $70. Right. That was a $40. To me, that's a great entry point if you're going to have a live service element, but you want that premium experience and you deliver on quality. You have to deliver on quality. I'm fine. And from what all I can see, Exoborne's doing that. Arc Raiders, bravo, looking forward to it.
I think both are going to be good. I think both are going to be good. I think the problem is that it's going to be dependent on whether or not you want to have something that's a little more liberal with, because okay, so here's my mentality. Arc Raiders feels more grounded, which as an extraction shooter, I am looking for something that is going to feel a little bit more viable, because I know as soon as I get into Exoborne, people are going to be jumping, flying, diving, grappling around me, and I'm going to lose, and I'm going to hate it, and I'm going to be like, this is stupid. The mobility's good, it's fun, but it's terrible to fight against, especially for folks that are not typically FPS shooters. Whereas Arc Raiders, a little more grounded, a little more understandable of like, okay, well, they're behind that thing. They can't double jump, grapple over me, glide down and shoot me from behind real quick. Like, not something that I think I've seen in Arc Raiders. So based on that, I think it'll be a little easier for people to equate Arc Raiders into something like Call of Duty, where you don't have that kind of like you can run, sprint, dive, stuff like that, but you can't like jump, grapple, hover, jetpack over somewhere and get away from someone. As an extraction shooter, I think that's important.
I would encourage you to check out or watch more Exoborne coverage, because what you're describing, it would be a rational fear. I don't think that's going to be the gameplay loop of it, though.
True, but we've only seen hands off.
I've played it. I've gone hands on with it.
You've played it, but you've played against other devs. Like I want the sweaty shrouds out there who can manipulate stuff in games. I want the people that are ridiculous. I don't want the devs who are going to be, trying to showcase a good experience. I want the live action sweaty gamer who's got 3,000 hours gameplay to see like what that is. Cause I see that in other shooters, I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like with the stuff they just pulled off, there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with that. So that's where I'm coming from. I want to see the live action gameplay of this with people playing it who've been playing it for a while.
All super chats now go to Logan to get a Snickers, because you're not you and you're hungry. And it sounds like you're just upset at it. In my mind, like it sounds like you're upset.
I'm vying for Arc Raiders, buddy. You're telling me Exoborne. I'm telling you Arc Raiders. That's the difference. I'm not angry at that. I'm just saying, like, there are rational fears that I have with Exoborne's gameplay style that I think are alleviated through Arc Raiders, and I think Arc Raiders is going to be the better game.
Is Arc Raiders PvPvE?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not worried about a meta PvP element of that being just as sweaty?
I think it'll be a different style of PvP.
And you're arguing that it's more, I'm going to use the word approachable for a casual fan. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Interesting.
Which we won't know until both games are out and they've had time to get in. So it's like there's no point in really arguing it too much because we haven't seen like proper gameplay. We have seen what people have done with Arc Raiders because they had that beta, right? We haven't seen that with Exoborne yet.
Okay, I'm gonna pull. I just for kicks, just to be a punk. This line that I just put in chat is pulled directly from the wiki. Arc Raiders is currently being developed by Embark Studios, the company behind The Finals, aka the most sweaty first-person shooter to exist.
It's not about like sweaty. Like you can have sweats in both games. It's not about that. It's about the mobility aspect of Exoborne with sweats. It's the design behind Exoborne, not who's playing it. That's the difference. You give you give Master Chief a grapple, it plays a lot different than Master Chief Halo 3. Am I wrong?
No, not wrong, but both still felt like Halo.
Both still feel like Halo. Exoborne and Arc Raiders, both extraction shooters. It's not about how they feel. It's about the difference in gameplay and what people who are good at games versus people who are less good at games play like. And I think Arc Raiders is going to even the battlefield a little bit better because of the inherent design around it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm not rallying against Arc Raiders, by the way. I just don't want anybody to sleep on Exoborne. Like, to me, that's important because it was just such a clean experience.
I don't want anyone to sleep on Arc Raiders because they did for the finals, and Ains would appreciate that statement.
I don't know anyone sleeping. Like, all I've heard are good things about Arc Raiders.
Yeah, but people slept on the finals.
I see. Okay, so you don't want the same thing to happen twice.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because I think Exoborne's at least coming in a state that people are already excited about it. Arc Raiders just has the stream perception from the streamers going for it right now. I don't know if they're going to have the marketing.
I don't know if that's true. I truly don't know. I know because of my interests, I know about Exoborne, but I don't know if people know about Exoborne. Like we've done on our channel, and I'll do a modest plug here. We've done 7 SGF previews, not counting our coverage, which was massive last week on XEP, where we hit like 10, 15 games. And when I did the one for Exoborne, it got decent view numbers for our channel. Like, you know, every channel's kind of got their standard, and it's you know, it did well, but Tony Hawk and Marvel did way better, you know. So like if that gauges interest, I don't know. Trophy Room says raise his hand. Big dogs, could I get a woof 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 woof? Big dog. We won several games in Fortnite last week. Big dogs, big nuts. I want to give a shout out to our patrons, Logan. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to read these? You want me to read these?
It doesn't matter. I'm good with either.
All right. I'll read them and then you'll take our next topic. All right. We've had some fantastic and very appreciative gifted XEP memberships today. Thank you guys so much. But if YouTube's not your jam and you like to support in other ways, help make the channel go around, help us do things like SGF, do things like different hardware reviews and whatnot. And for example, this just arrived courtesy of Razer. I'm going to be reviewing the Wolverine Tournament Edition. Very excited to check out that controller, the wired one. We got to go hands-on with some Razer stuff at SGF. Thanks to the patrons here. Thanks to people supporting our channel. If you'd like to continue doing that, go to patreon.com/Xbox Expansion Pass. Just like Clutch Quando, Omen, Jesse Prius, Fatto, Aaron G, Nick Bentley, The Scarecrow, Ken Rosing, Fabian Winkler, Regis Stella, the Brony Pirate, Rob Frawley II, Tao Zochi, lost my spot, Nicholas Johnson, Randall Thor 19, Hafrican, Game Positive, Jam Pack Sam, Rick Davis, Matt Valdez, Red Beast, Dano 12, DJ Hero, Brendan Myers, aka the Winter Gamer, the Lord Sir Master James Suddy, and Sony's VP of Marketing, Kevin Butler. Thank you guys for supporting XEP. Thank you to everybody who supports XEP. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you letting us do something we love and reviewing hardware, games, previewing stuff, SGF, all of it. We really appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Thank you. Logan, what's next on our to discuss list?
Today, Junior. Xbox games that are coming in July 2025, I believe, is up on the docket, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to be looking forward to. It's funny enough. Rise of the Tomb Raider and Little Nightmares 2 are popping up for July 1st, which is kind of cool. I still need to play through Tomb Raider, the first one.
It's so good.
I've had that loaded. I've played through the intro. I've killed animals and I've found people who then disappeared, and that's about as far as I've gotten. But it is very interesting to play through a game that feels like very much trying to emulate the Uncharted aspect of like adventure games. So that's coming out on July 1st. So definitely something to jump into. July 11th. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 is coming to console, PC, and other areas. I think Switch as well.
Switch 1, Switch 2 coming later this year.
Yeah. Thank you. And Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, that was a lot of fun. Especially once I remembered how to manual. Then I was like, okay, now I'm actually able to change some stuff. The lack of the story mode does not feel like important, honestly, in this point. Having the different arenas to be able to do your 2-minute skate around is fantastic. It feels like more 1 and 2, and I'm here for it because I think they've done a really good job with bringing forward the pro skater series to, I don't know, like an era where the 90s fashion is currently in style. So having like skateboards and Jinko pants and stuff like that to have in here is awesome. I loved your review when we were actually playing it, and you called out the fact that Jack Black was reprising his role as the policeman in 3. I think it was 3.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see that. I also like that the turtle, like Michelangelo, is coming in, and it's the newer design of Michelangelo from the it was like, oh, what was the movie called?
Mutant Mayhem?
Yeah. That was a fantastic movie. And I really loved it. So I'm really glad to see that Mikey's coming in that fashion, because I actually really like the teenager version of Turtles from time to time, like the ones that look like they should be, worried about high school kind of issues. So I appreciate that. But that's coming out on the 11th. Then on the 22nd.
Hold on. Did you, real quick before you continue, did you see the pro play? Because I pulled the footage from the guy that was at the SGF event, and I was like, I could use my footage, but I could use the one that when he picked up my controller. It was just
fun fact for those that helped us get to SGF. Luke and I went to this, and both of us had been so out of practice with Tony Hawk that we had forgotten all the things, and we were given a half hour to play. Our video was going to be recorded. Luke looks over to me because he doesn't know how to use OBS, and he's like, "You're going to record this, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll record it." I started recording. About 5 minutes in, I was like, "This is not going to be good footage. This is going to be ugly." So I'm like, "Luke, let me record yours." He's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because between the two of us, one of us has to get something cool looking so that we can sell this game, because there's no way either of us playing are going to look at all competent."
And I was doing okay.
Yeah, he was doing better than I was, and I'm the one that was actually been playing 1 and 2 after a while, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so bad at this. It's the days of PlayStation 1 and 2 and Dreamcast are over. I am now well past that prime, and that's when he went and grabbed like one of the professionals, had them come over, sit down, and actually like start showing us 2-minute sets of him doing in the millions of points, whereas Luke and I were struggling to get like 20,000, 50,000 for certain things. And it's like, okay, this is the difference. This is the fear I have with Exoborne. So it was nice to get that kind of like sense of like what's possible in a Tony Hawk game.
Yeah.
Especially given that these are like faithful recreations, which me in remakes, I'm not a huge fan, but this is one of those instances where, much like Resident Evil 4, much like Metroid Prime, they've done justice to the franchise that I think is worth diving into.
Yep. It was so cool to see that happening. It was wild. And then real talk, like after seeing him do that, I did better. I was like, that's how to use that area. That's what to use with that area. And he was doing like character specific tricks, which I thought was neat too. You know, like Mikey has his own set of tricks. The Doomslayer will have his own set of tricks. You could do your own tricks with Bam Margera. You could do your own tricks with Tony Hawk. Like that was cool to see. And a lot of modes out of the box. I was impressed.
Yeah, I was really happy. We got the playthrough that we were on was one that was effectively done with everything. So we had more access than most will probably get when you first start playing the game. So you will have to go in and unlock things. You will have that kind of sense of progression. But it was really cool to see, like, Mike's shell spin, where he spins on his shell, or the Doomslayer grind. There's like that kind of stuff was really kind of cool to be able to check out. And shout out to the team there who brought us in, not realizing how just absolute dog water we were when it came to playing, because it was nice to be able to at least have that experience to kind of say, like, hey, this is really cool. You can get really good at this. Just not off our video.
Sorry, I muted. It was cool. It was just neat. All right, I interrupted you, but just because I wanted to shout that out.
No, yeah, it's definitely cool. And shout out to Gentlestone, because Matt Hoffman BMX would be a fantastic. But let's also get like some 1080 snowboarding, some snowboard kids. Like let's get the old oh my God, what were they called? The X Sports? No, what was it? What was the old
X Games?
Like, X Games. Let's get the X Games stuff back in remade, because I love those kind of extreme sports stuff where it's you got the rollerbladers jumping into the pool, doing flips and stuff. So I don't know. July 22nd, going back to Game Pass list, you've got Abiotic Factor, which is one that I'm not familiar with, but apparently this is a multiplayer survival game that's coming into Game Pass on the 22nd. So if you're looking for that survival crafting experience with 1 to 6 people set in the depths of an underground research facility, caught between paranormal containment failure, a military crusade, and chaos from a dozen realms, the world's greatest minds must survive against the universe's biggest threats. Tall Order, be interesting to see how that plays. Survival games, a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to one of the ones that's actually on this list that's coming later on. But until then, we've got to wait for that. July 23rd has got Wheel World, which is going to be a bicycling indie game that's coming out from Annapurna, which I appreciate because Annapurna produces really, really good games. So generally, just about anything that comes from them, you can trust to have some decent gameplay. It's going to be good. But this is one of those ones where you are Kat, a young cyclist with one mission: save Wheel World from total collapse, explore a stunning open world filled with immersive vistas, hidden secrets, and races that will test your skills. Customize your bike with an endless array of parts, from sleek speedsters to off-road beasts. There's no limit to how you can ride. Neat. Then we've got July 24th, and that's Wu Chang and the Fallen Feathers.
Interested? I'm interested for sure. That demo looked good at SGF, didn't it?
Yeah, it did look really good. I didn't jump in because I'm not a Souls person. And that's one of those things that, like, I was kind of getting that vibe. It says it's an action RPG, which we'll have to say, because Wu Chang Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like action RPG set in the land of Shu during the dark and tumultuous late Ming Dynasty, plagued with warring factions and mysterious illness spawning monstrous creatures. So this is going to be one of those ones that even Joe says it was very good, which I trust his opinion on Souls likes. That if you're looking for that kind of fix, if you're done with Night Rain and you're looking to get back into a Souls-like game, Wu Chang is coming to Game Pass on the 24th. So that'll be on Xbox Series X, S, Cloud, and PC. Then, last but not least, the one that I'm most excited for, which I'm hoping we get to jump into, is on July 29th, the end of the month, Grounded 2 Early Access, coming to Xbox Series X, S, and Cloud, PC as well. I am excited for this as someone who really loved Grounded 1. I was not expecting to fall in love with Grounded as much as I did until I actually got to play it and actually got more time in on it. So them going into the park, being shrunken down, and having this much more vast experience, getting mounts to be able to run around from place to place as opposed to having to use zip lines everywhere is going to be really cool. This is going to be similar in the same vein as the first game, where they are going to be giving you access to early builds where you will help kind of craft what this game turns into, which if you've played Grounded after the fully yoked edition is a complete game, like a full on, there's a story, there's a exploration, there's characters that you can play and go and experience. There's really good crafting and survival mechanics. This is probably the most approachable survival game I think you could even levy at the genre compared to most other stuff where you have to go punch a tree until you get a couple branches in your inventory and then craft a rudimentary stone hatchet as you do in every single survival game. This is similar, but in that kind of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids vibe that just has so much more character and personality, I think, than most of the other survival games. There's even a pirate one that I'm trying to get into called Crosswinds. I'm just like, this is going to tide me over until Grounded 2. So, and I don't have the time to jump into Dune Awakening as much as I would think Dune Awakening would be good.
I know I told this story when we first got back from SGF, but y'all, when the whole room was watching the Xbox conference at the community event, and then Grounded 2 came up, kind of got a little calm, and then Logan out of nowhere, yeah,
yeah.
I was like,
people are sleeping.
Like, let's go.
Obsidian doesn't make bad games, man. They make amazing games.
They do.
But that is effectively the Game Pass games that are coming in July, which, to be perfectly honest, there's some old ones, there's some new ones, there's some indies in there. There's a little bit of something for everyone, including first party. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah.
Because it feels like Game Pass is just the best way to experience games.
I haven't touched Space Marine Remastered or Oblivion Remastered.
Yeah.
And I want to for both. The Altars I'm not even looking at. And I know it's very well reviewed. Same. People are loving it. I just don't have time for it.
Yeah.
Right. Firebreak, I think it's okay. You were talking about, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
As a Control and Alan Wake fan, it's very disappointing.
No, you should not be going to Firebreak for that. That is very much not the case. I think Firebreak has a fun gameplay loop, but it very much depends on there being one of each class. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the stuff in that game is not explained. So there's a lot of stuff that happens. You're like, I don't know what to do or how to do this. And I think that the discoverability or the introduction to stuff is lacking a lot, but it's got good bones. And I felt that way about Sea of Thieves, and Sea of Thieves is doing way better since launch. So I'm hoping that they'll continue on this. They just touted 1 million players, or 1 million people have played Firebreak. So I'm hoping that the momentum is there and that they'll be able to continue iterating on it, because it needs it. Mm-hmm. Because I think that it will have something that is more interesting than something like, I don't know, like most other extraction shooters or kind of games in that vein. Like Helldivers is probably the best example of how to do it really, really well.
Yeah. Sathi has asked, what day is Xbox Fan Fest? August 20th. I'm looking on their webpage.
FanFest or Gamescom?
No, it's FanFest in Cologne.
Oh, okay.
So it is FanFest, but it's in Europe, in Germany at Cologne. So it looks cool, and you can win an all expense paid trip if you go to Xbox's website. So,
I mean, all expenses paid would be nice if it wasn't for the fact that I'm going to be moving.
You know what I'm having to do? So I had an opportunity to go back to LA last week, paid event, like I was gonna be covered. I can't because I flew without my real ID this past time, and still, like North Carolina, there is not a single DMV in the entire state with appointments available for real ID. So this coming week, I'm gonna go stand up out there at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and just wait. Which sucks. But not a single appointment in the entire state at any DMV, which is wild. And like, it bums me out because like they did let me fly this past time, but I don't think they'd let me fly twice.
How do you not have a passport?
Never needed one. So it's on, like my wife and I are doing that this summer too. What, like we never needed one. So, and hers, Trophy room asking where I was going. Like I said, it would have been a trip to LA for a thing, to see a thing.
That's why he was able to. So Trophy Room makes a really good point in chat here, and I won't put it up for the sake of the VOD of this, but that's why he was able to join us the first time. But yeah, I think if you guys don't, I would urge you to get your passport. They're good for 10 years. I got one
that I should get one. So like that was our effort.
Yeah. Also, Real ID has been like a thing they've been talking about for a few years. So
yeah, but who was talking about it? The person that was out, and then it was like, oh wait, but they've been backed up for years. That's the problem, Logan. They've been backed up for years. That's the thing. So it's kind of a bummer. But it says it's summer break. I'm gonna go do it this week. So
yeah. Okay. Well, it's a shame that you didn't. It's a shame that you didn't get to go do that, because that was one of the things that I think I would have enjoyed to go do. And it would have worked out if I just had time. But I am now in turtle mode. All my trips are done. All of my expenditures have been made. I am now like I have to move in 2 months across the country to be on East Coast. So. Logan's going to be locked into to eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a hot minute, so that way I can make this move. But it's, if the opportunity comes up in the future, like it'll definitely be nice to get some of those abilities to go jump into stuff, because I think having experiences where we can go and actually do some coverage for folks and come back and say like, hey, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. I'm terrible, but it's a fun game.
That was really fun. Yeah,
it's if you guys like, skating, and if you guys like skateboarding and all, you will love how this looks compared to what it looked like back in the day. Because back in the day, it was like, it's all right graphics, but now it looks good.
I do hope our community feels like we are working for them, like to honor back the financial support they've given us. Because we've done 7 previews, cast co-op, 2 XEP. Like, I hope everybody knows how much we're putting into it, as like we went on this trip because of you guys.
Yeah.
I hope it is seen and noted how much we appreciate you all and the effort we're putting in.
Check out Pragmata.
Pragmata is so cool.
Pragmata, Lumines, Lego Party. Hands down.
We have a few more previews we want to do.
Yeah.
From our time. I was able to get out ahead of Logan in terms of getting stuff done because I'm on summer break, even with because I've been working this summer, because somehow I won an award that saw me doing a ton of work. So even like when I've been going into work on the summer, like I've had more time than Logan. But my next project is reviewing this,
Yeah.
Actually, my next one's the backbone video I'm ready to make. But that will be a short, because shorts can be 3 minutes now. So that's gonna be a short for our channel, and see how that does. But then putting this Wolverine tournament edition through its paces, because Razer was kind enough to send it to us based on us going to LA. Thank you guys all for supporting us getting there. We want you guys to see the effort, and so we're doing it. So
I'm looking at their chairs. That's what I'm.
I think David Burdett reviewed a Secret Labs chair, and I'm just like, dude, because I sit in a Secret Labs and I freaking love it.
Yeah,
I love Secret Labs chairs. But I can't imagine doing a review for it. Like, my butt feels nice. It's adjustable.
It's well, I mean, there's a lot of aspects to a chair. It's like there's a reason why these chairs are so expensive, and it's because they need to last. They need to be able to handle multiple hours. Because I work from home, so for me, a chair needs to cover 12 to 16 hours worth of me sitting in it, and that's not accounting for like the 30 minutes to an hour that I generally like try to stand up when I'm actually like at home doing stuff. But it's one of those things, like this is an investment, man. Just like with controllers and headsets, you don't want to buy something and be disappointed by it. So you want someone to go through and put it through its paces to be able to say like, okay, yeah, this chair was good, but I noticed after 20 hours it didn't feel as comfortable as it did when I first got it. It definitely wore in. So that's why I like some of those chair reviews that are like a year after owning it, or like 2 years after owning it. Where are we at with this chair after years of ownership at that point? Because those are the reviews that I'm like, yeah, this is what held up, this is what didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I paid full price for this bad boy, and I would do it again. This Secret Labs one was awesome. And
the fact that you paid full price is the silly thing.
No, man, it's got a Batman logo on it.
Yeah, but you paid full price. There are promo codes everywhere.
It has a Batman symbol on it.
All right.
What more do you need? All right, Logan. We got more previews on the way for you guys. Controller review on the way. Logan, do you want to spotlight any of your recent work? Because I think you got some cool stuff to talk about.
Just that the Tron Catalyst review is out. I enjoyed my time with it as a diehard fan of Tron, but it is not something that I think folks outside of like the movies will get into unless you're looking for a new story. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to wait till Tron Arise. Outside of that, I just had a preview go up for Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles 2. And that's another one of those games where I love Demon Slayer. I've watched all the content that's out for it now. I haven't spoiled myself with the manga because obviously mangas, there's a lot there, and I'd rather watch the animation aspect of it.
It's manga.
No. Playing through the preview that I got to do at SGF reinforced a lot of the things that I had issues with the first one until later on when they came out with patches. It's running 60 FPS, which is nice. It feels just like the Entertainment District storyline. I did not get a chance to jump into the Swordsmith arc, but if you are a fan of Demon Slayer and you're looking for that fix, while we wait for more of the actual like series to come out, the Hinokami Chronicles 2 is going to satiate that if you're looking to run around and slash at demons and stuff like that. So I got to fight Daki, which was one of my favorite plot lines in the Entertainment District. But I'm looking forward to Swordsmith arc and the Hashira training arc as well too. So big fan of those. Can't wait to jump into them. That's coming out on August 1st on all platforms, and the preview is up on XEP at the moment.
Be honest, how many times you re-record that bad boy?
A lot. I re-recorded it quite a bit of times. It was all one take, but I definitely recorded it multiple times. And that was one of those things where it's like, there are a lot of like the names and the characters. I got those down. It's the Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles 2, which that name is a mouthful, and I still don't understand why they decided that was where they wanted to go with it, but they did. But it is a lot to say in one without flubbing it.
Nothing. No, I got nothing.
Okay.
Like, no. Do check out Logan's review of Tron Catalyst. Check out our previews because we've done quite a bit of work on it. And in general, support your creators. Click like, click subscribe, click share, show people you think would be interested. Shout out to everybody that's helped us be successful. We appreciate you. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.